Hi there, BookTube! My name is Christina and welcome back to Novel Niche. Today I'm here with hopefully a realistic, that's actually gonna happen, TBR for this autumn 2021. And the reason why I'm hoping that it's kind of realistic is that this time I'm not kind of overdoing it with too many books. Yet, if I still will be in that strange reading mood in which I've been the rest of the year, it's kind of too much. But hopefully, finger crossed, it's not. And plus, you have to consider that I will have one more TBR this autumn that will be, of course, for non-fiction November. And that one will be coming up sooner or later. So these are all fiction. There is no non-fiction here included. And again, fingers crossed, I will get to these ones. But these are the ones that really scream autumn to me right now, this year. And from what to start, I actually have only 5. Let's start with the first one. The first one is actually a continuation of young adult, middle grade / young adult series. Yeah, it's kind of middle grade, I believe, at the beginning. And it's Skullduggery Pleasant. I will go on with the 3rd or 4th book in the series. I don't remember at this point. And I'm listening to these audiobooks. I'm loving them. They're so atmospheric, full of music and sound effects, and they're just perfect for like October. And I listen to the audiobook while I'm walking to get to the underground station. So when it's kind of foggy and a little bit rainy, it's just amazing, because this book is set in Ireland and it's all about our protagonist, who is a young girl who teams up with a living skeleton, and they're solving mysteries and crimes. So it's just perfect for autumn, in my opinion. Then the next one, with a similar vibe of crimes and perfect things to read while it's raining, but it's a general theme for autumn, probably. It's the first story in this humongous book that you see here, and it's actually the collection of all of the novels and the short stories, I believe, in the Sherlock Holmes series by Sir Arthur Conan Doyle. And I'm planning to read the first one. The first one, I hope that they are in order here. The first one should be Uno studio in rosso, or a study in red, or an office in red, something like that. And apparently it's not that big, because I mean it's only 77 pages in this edition. So this amount of pages, except for the fact, let's appreciate the end pages here, except for the fact that this edition is written with double columns on each page. So it seems short, but it's just a way to trick your mind, because it's not. So I hope that I will be able to read it. I don't know if I will read it by myself, or I will be reading it out loud to my boyfriend, because that's something that we love doing sometimes. Mainly in autumn and winter, it's just a lovely activity to do when you're inside, and like on a Saturday, on a lazy Saturday, you just lay down and read, and this can be a perfect one. Then the next one, again with the theme of, this time of straight up murder, but witchy one. I have a cozy mystery that I owned for some years at this point, but I've not read yet. This is the first one in a series. It takes a witch, and it says There's a New Witch in Town by Heather Blake, the first witchcraft mystery. Because in this one we're following Darcy and her sister Harper, who suddenly discover that they are witches, and they owned kind of dropped this bomb, and they move back to their little town in order to kind of try and understand what this means, what powers they have and whatnot. But suddenly they get involved in a murder, and of course, as in all cozy mysteries, our main protagonist, who is Darcy, I believe, will end up kind of solving this mystery, or trying to solve it, while getting to know this new community and all of her powers. So, I mean, witches, October, what else I have to tell you? It's just perfect. Plus it's purple, and I love purple. So, plus it seems tiny, but again, It's full packed. It's like a paperback, but like a mass paperback, but it's full packed. So it's tiny and perfect for the bag or the purse or whatever. But then the story in itself is not that short. They're like more than 300 pages. So we will see. But it's cozy mystery. They're always perfect and kind of heartwarming. Then the next one that I have here again has something to do, I believe, with murder, and I've wanted to read this book for so long. I wanted, at a certain point I was thinking about listening to it, but then I decided that I really want to own a physical copy, and I found it used, so this one is secondhand. And when it arrived, it's just a little bit battered here and there, like a little bit ruined, but I think that it really adds to the charm of this specific book. And it's The Secret History by Donna Tartt. I've never read anything by Donna Tartt, and this one, I don't know if you can see, but it's a little bit ruined here and there. The spine is cracked and just things like that, like small things that are not perfect in this book, but I think that it adds to its charm, really. And I have to admit that at this point I've seen this book around so many times that I don't even remember what it's about. I just think that this is the one that really started this whole wave of dark academia going on around BookTube and generally the reader's world. But in this one, I believe that we're following a teacher and a class of modern classic, and they are apparently involved in a mystery or a murder or something like that. And I know that Donna Tartt writes very beautifully from what I heard, so I believe that this will be a rich and lush experience, just like to sit down and sip some tea and just get immersed in the story. So these are my expectations. Some people actually hate Donna Tartt, so I don't know where I will stand, but we will see. And the very last one that I have here, so at this point we're at book number 5. So yeah, it's realistic, but who knows? It's a book that, this one is one that I will read for sure, because I'm sick and tired of getting this book out every time, every autumn, and not reading it at the end. It's the first one in a trilogy. I own the fall trilogy. This is a middle grade, I believe, and it's called Wandla. And this one is The Search for Wandla by Tony Di Terlizzi. And this is, I don't even know how to describe it. It's like sci-fi-ish, fantasy-ish. And we're following our main protagonist, whose name is Eva 9, and her journey through this land. And that's everything that I remember at this point. So many years passed and I've not read it yet, and it's on my autumnal TBR each and every year. This is ridiculous. I really need to get to it. Plus, what I discovered is that this book was published in 2010, I believe, and inside some of the images, they come to life if you watch them through the webcam of your computer, I believe. So that will be funny, and I'm sure that in 2010 it was like a huge thing to make happen. And it's just, I mean, it's a middle grade. It's written in a very big font. It has actually lovely and unique illustrated pages, so I just really want to read it. Read it! For God's sake, read it! This is me talking to myself at this point. Sorry, it's not for you. Anyhow, these were the books that I'm planning to read this autumn. I hope that I will be able to get to all of them, fingers crossed, to some more than to others. And I will let you know if I will get through all of these books at a certain point this autumn. And stay tuned for a future, maybe in October, for a future TBR for Nonfiction November, because I have a huge amount of nonfictions that I own and I'm really excited to get to, and I'm always waiting for Nonfiction November to really dive into nonfiction. So this year will be no different. Thank you so much for watching, and let me know down below if you have any books that you're planning to read specifically this autumn. And I will see you very soon in my next video. Bye! Ciao!